Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on the powder coat oven again. So what we're going to do, we need to add another. You see, we added this center support there. We need to add another center support, kind of in the center of the oven. I guess roof support. So we added this one to help kind of sturdy the walls. We're going to put another one kind of dead in the center of this thing. And we have some metal that I think we're going to use for the roof of this thing, just to get going. Also have this vent. I think we're going to use for like an intake vent, and we need to get another one for an exhaust vent. We'll probably put intake over here and exhaust over there on that corner. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna run to the shop, grab some stuff, and we'll get started putting this center support in. And again, don't mind the old garage here. Again, we're still trying to figure out what exactly it is. We want to do this whether it be fixing what's here or just going with metal, so don't pay no attention to that. This is just here because this has got concrete and it's kind of out of the way. So anyway, like I said, we're going to have a shop, get some stuff, and we're going to get started on this thing. Alright, so we look, I'm going to do the door. We got that other support in. So I'm also thinking we're going to have to trim some down here. The door opens fine, but if you pull it back to you, in spots it catches. So I'll do something with that at one point. But as you can also see, there's the wall. So, but like this, open just fine. But we'll figure that out. But anyway, we have some metal down here that we're going to throw on the roof. It's corrugated steel, should be fine. But we're going to grab it, throw it up here, and then that's really all we need to hold the insulation. And with these that are in here now, so we should be good. But I guess we'll go in here, grab it, and cut it to length and throw it up here. And then I guess we will get to putting that vent in, and we need to get another vent for exhaust. So anyway, but I want to do this before we put the heater in. That way the heater doesn't get rained in. So I have the heater in the shop. I need to get a gas line for it and run it out before we do insulation. So anyway, I'm gonna grab this metal. Like I said, we need to get it cut and go ahead and throw it up here and screw it down. Alright guys, so last night we got these panels set on top. We got another brace, and this is actually the same metal as this. So we had some other stuff, had that we wanted to use. It wasn't wide enough, so ended up using this. Worked out pretty good. It's a little too wide, so we got two sheets overlapping each other, but we're gonna go ahead and get this all screwed down because it's just sitting here for right now. Get this screwed down, and I guess go ahead and figure out where we're going to put our vents and where we're going to run our gas line out for the heater itself. Alright guys, so we got the roof attached, got it all screwed down, but right now we need to go get a pipe. So I was looking, and there's another guy on YouTube, Cycle Fab is his channel. Larry, he been watching his video on his oven, trying to get some ideas, and seen he used some baffled piping for his intake and exhaust. So we're around to Conway, which is not going to be fun this time of day, but it is what it is, because school like just let out. But we need to get that piping, see if we can find those pipes with baffles, and we need to get a metal gas line. The heater, we set the heater in the oven to kind of get an idea of what it is exactly that we're wanting to do, and I think we figured out the perfect spot to put it. So we need to get a short, 6-8 inches will work, a foot will work, but the way that heater is, and I'll show you when we get back, the fitting is just an inch from the wall, so it's got to go through that, and our wall is 2 inches, and then whatever we put on it for an outside skin. So if we got to get a foot of work, and then we'll take the rubber hose that came with it, we'll attach on, and then run that out to our bottle. So anyway, I guess we're around to Conway and see what we can get, and I'm also going to get some prices and look about insulation. I didn't want to get any insulation until we had metal to put on the outside of the thing, because I didn't want it to get wet, being as the garage has no roof. So I'm gonna get some price on insulation, see what they got, see if they have the right thickness and all this other kind of stuff that we need. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna run to Conway and see what we can come up with. Alright guys, so we put a handle on this thing, for one, pretty nice. I think this is aluminum, but anyway, as I pinch my finger there, bad thing about these, you get your finger in here, yeah, not great. Anyway, we put a handle on this thing, and here is the heater. So yesterday we went to Lowe's, and after looking around for about 2 hours, we found a thing for, it was an actual Mr. Heater brand. I figured, well, that's who I got the heater from. It should work. Well, for all, it didn't. So, I guess we're going to go back to Lowe's, see if we can get what we actually need, and we'll come back, work on this some more. But anyway, I think, like I said, it just needs to come right out the wall, and then we have that other one, which I think is 12 feet, so it's plenty long enough to go to our bottle or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna get this thing closed up, probably jump in the 300, and I guess we'll head back to Conway. Alright, so we got our propane line. Finally found one yesterday. Funny enough, this thing was $40. But it is what it is. So got it connected, run through the wall. I'm gonna get a grommet or something other to put around it. That way we don't get too much heat coming out. As we're stuff on the floor again. Now, what we need to do is it finally quit raining this morning, so I'm gonna get back to work on this thing. But what we need to do next is we need to do our vents. So we just got some regular, I think it's like stove pipe couplers or something like that. We couldn't find any that were baffled. I really wanted some baffled ones, that way you can kind of control it, but I'm thinking this heater is going to be way too much for this little oven anyway, so we're probably not going to need any kind of baffles to let in any more or any less, I guess, air. So we can go down to the shop, see if we can find some jigsaw blades or something. We're going to put one down here and probably one up there in that corner. So anyway, I'm going to run down here to the shop, and we'll grab those pieces that I got and go ahead and start getting them in here. Alright, so while I was working on some stuff in the house, my grandpa got these vents in. So got one here, and then I got this one in over here up top. And then we went ahead, there was already a hole here. So we went ahead, I just stuck the gauge right here for right now, because we're going to do a test fire on this thing and see how it works. So we got, again, we have our vents there and there. Then at some point we can get face plates for these and everything. But we got our propane bottle from the shop, and well, like I said, we're about to do a test fire on this thing, even without insulation, see how it comes up to temp and everything like that. So I guess well, we're about to fire this thing up and see what it does. Alright, so if y'all can hear, we got a thing fired up. We fired it up about 2:08, 2:09, something like that. PM, not temp, but as you can see, we are quickly climbing. And this thing is warm already, with just a minute, like maybe a minute. We're already up 250 and climbing. So I'm gonna say this heater is a little bit overkill for this size of oven, but we're gonna see how long it takes it to get up to 400, and well, then we'll probably shut this thing down and whatnot, because it doesn't have any insulation on it. We just want to do a test fire to see kind of what it would do. Okay, so right now we're about 330-ish degrees. I'm not over there, I'm standing here in the shade, but like I said, about 5 minutes up to 330, maybe 6 minutes. So for a lot of some of the candies that I get from the Powdercoat store, bake at 340, so that will be pretty close for around there. But it's slowing down as far as picking up heat, so that kind of gives me some hope that we may be able to leave this thing running on low. That's what it's at now, it's on low, but it kind of gives me hope that we might be able to leave this thing on low and not have to cut it off, turn it on, cut it off, turn it on, and whatnot. So anyway, we're going to keep watching it and see how long it takes it to get to 400. Okay guys, so what we did, we run it up to 325. 325, 330. Seemed to be as high as it was going to get. It got there in 5 minutes, and then we let it run for another 5 minutes, and that was all it got to. So it gives me hope. And that's on low, so that's all the way as low as it gets. We cut it off about 2 minutes ago and running it back to what, 225, 220, something like that, because again, it doesn't have any insulation. But anyway, I think because like I said, some of that powder that I get cures at 340, so like I said, it gives me some hope for being able to do little stuff like that. And then that's probably what, 75,000 BTU, because this is 75,000 to 200,000. So I'm gonna say we have plenty of heater to go up to that 400 we need for most of the stuff. But anyway, I guess that's all we can do for today. We're gonna start putting everything up here, and I guess we'll probably end out the video here. Alright, so about 10 minutes, we're already under 150 with the door closed and everything, so we're good. Our inlet pipe here works perfectly fine, works just as intended. No heat loss out of it. We do have heat coming out of the exhaust over there, so pretty happy about that. We do have some leaks and stuff. Kind of figured that. I mean, the door doesn't have a seal on it. You can see the gap right there in the roof. So leaks were expected, but I think it'll work. And to be completely honest with you, up here where this gap is, as you can see, through this thing. I mean, I can see all the way through there. We don't really have a whole lot of heat coming out of there. So we might not have to run a door seal on this thing. But anyway, there it is. So I'm pretty happy about that, to be completely honest. Now, one thing we do want to do, actually, let's start with this. One thing I do wish we could do was control the thing externally. You know, if we need more, we'd be able to crank it up out here. The way it is right now, you got to go into the oven and then crank it up or whatever you're going to do. So that's not the greatest. But with this heater, and the only reason I bought this heater is it wasn't super expensive and just really wanted to get going. At some point, we'll look and see if we can get one of the what are they, forced air heaters or something like that. But for right now, this will work perfectly. Again, you just got to go in the oven to make adjustments. Another thing we were looking at that we will probably do before we get too carried away with ourselves is we want to get a shut-off valve. So I know you should always turn your propane bottle off, but there's no shut-off between here and that regulator. So we're going to look at getting a shut-off valve for this thing. But anyway, guys, I reckon, and I'm going to open this thing up too, take a look in here. Make sure we didn't melt anything on the heater itself. And even right here, there really wasn't any heat coming out of here. So that is real nice. But I mean, you can see this thing is it's not sealed the best. But again, we're gonna put insulation on this thing, so that'll help everything. But like I said, there you can see those are the adjustments, the striker, and then the safety valve deal that you got to push to let propane in it. So that is nice, because if you turn this thing on, it won't just start leaking propane. But anyway, guys, I guess that's gonna be it for today. My grandpa's girlfriend, her son actually has some metal. He's gonna go visit her this weekend, so I'm gonna send some money with him. We're gonna get that metal, and we'll probably go get it maybe next week in the 6.0 because it is 8 foot. But I'm trying to get this thing in the shot here for a thumbnail. But anyway, guys, I guess that is going to be a wrap for today's video. So that being said, if y'all enjoyed today's video or find it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.